Hey, High Tech Redneck, Chris here. All right, we're doing the axles. They were supposed to have been done Monday, the front, and the rear is Tuesday, and today's Wednesday. We went from 80-degree weather, tornadoes, floods, like a lot of you folks down in the South, to the bottom dropped out to 20, 29 degrees. Everything was covered in frost this morning. It's now Wednesday, 11:40 in the afternoon, so instead of doing the axles in 2 days, I'm going to try to do them both front and rear in this afternoon. The reason why I'm going to 2.0s is because those are 14-inch rims. I'm going to a 15-inch bead lock on Roxillas, 32-inch. I'm also going to show you some tips and tricks that'll help you if you ever have to replace these again, and I'll show that later. But the first thing I'm going to do is, and also I have all my tools out. I'm in somebody else's bay, and I have access to his tools, but I pulled my own personal tools out, and I'm doing spring cleaning. A lot of them need to be wiped down. They've got rust on them. I'm also going to be using power tools as much as I can. I still may have to do it the old manual fashioned way by hand. Anyways, the front should be a lot harder to do than the back, because I don't think you have to disconnect the rear shock like you do in the front. So I'm only gonna do one off camera, and then I'll show you one on camera. But I don't know exactly what sockets and all that I have that I need to use, and I'll have to go through that. So let me do one off camera, and then we'll switch over. But the first thing I'm gonna do is, I just had two big old cans of, I'm old school. You can use PB Blaster for this, but I just happen to have two cans of, big cans of WD-40. So I'm gonna pre-soak these, all four of them, and let them set for about 10 or 15 minutes. So if they are froze up, this may make it help to loosen these. Golly. Where is it at? This is why I didn't bring my GoPro out. All right. And we'll do that all for all four. So, all right. Oh, okay, I just soaked them, all four axles, right into the front and rear diff. And I don't know if you need to do this, but I'm doing it just because. Again, you can use PB Blaster. I'm just old school. So what I'm going to do is start the vehicle up and go forward and go backwards, and then let them set for about 10 minutes. See the difference with that tool bag? You can see everything. Floor jack was in the way. That's gonna be my tripod for my phone. Let me pull it up a little bit so we get some light. That'll be good right there. All right, cool. All right, now we're gonna let them sit for a minute. All right, here it is. 2.5 hours later, And here I was going to show something fancy about anti-seize. That was seized up. I had to take a rubber mallet to take it off. And the part I was worried about being seized up inside the diff right there, it came out easy once I unbuckled everything. But it was this part right here, the outer axle was seized up. And that's what this stuff is. It's anti-seize. It's $10 a little bottle here. It's got a brush on it. You don't want to get it on your hands or your clothes because it'll stain everything. You get it on your clothes, don't wash them clothes with your good clothes. So, but yeah, the axle came out fine. It was trying to unbuckle all of this. And man, I guarantee you, I spent 45 minutes looking for tools, like I said, because I wanted to use my own. But anyways, I've got a ratchet strap, tried to pull all that away. And as you can see, my little ball joints on my lower A-arms are ripped. And I thought, did I do that? So then I went and looked at the other. And I haven't even touched this one. And you see that? It's ripped too. So I'll do some research and maybe call Hauser because he's supposed to have a lifetime warranty or something on them. But yes, it was seized right inside here. So now I'm going to take my blue towels and spray some WD-40 in there and try to rake all this stuff out, clean it out. I've got an air hose, I can blow it out, wipe all that, clean all that in, and then I'm going to take that high temperature anti-seize. You need to put it on both ends. It's got an applicator, a brush that's attached to the lid, and don't get stingy. Cover them pretty good. I covered the inside one and get it in there because by the time you push this axle in, if you've got that stuff on this end, it's going to be everywhere. So wait till you get this one in before you put that anti-seize down here on the outer axle part. So, oh man, there ain't no way, unless I was on some good drugs. That's just one axle. And now I've got to go work on the other one. And another thing, more than likely coming, golly, I'm going to have to do the tie rods, because those are like going to be the weak spot on this now. But yeah, get you a buddy too. If you got a buddy, have him come over, buy him a 12-pack, have your ugly old lady out there in Daisy Duke serving sandwiches and drinks. It would help. If anything, for moral support. I don't know what else I'm going to film. I'll probably film putting some of that anti-seizure on there, but all right. Yeah. That's all that came out right there, and I'm telling you, it took an act of God to find the right socket and all that. I don't know if it's metric or what, and I've got standard. Oh my gosh. Do your research. All right, here's some other things going on here. I just took the new axle out. The box isn't marked anywhere that I can see if these are front or rear, but if you look right there, it says AX01005FO. That F means front, and on the rear, right there where it says F, there'll be an R. So that's what I'm assuming. So I marked them. And we're about to find out. And also, if you're wondering, it did come with a cotter pin taped to the box. And it came with 2 thin washers and a castle nut. So, here comes all the livestock. So I'm going to put my gloves on here, and we're going to anti-seize the front end, the differential end. All right. First of all, I'm going to remove this castle nut. You want to hold on to these castle nuts and cotter pins gonna tell you that right now. Set this over here to the side. Oh yeah, that big washer there. Okay. Are we on target? Yeah. So yeah, wear gloves. This is like $9, $9.99 for a bottle. And prevents seizing, galling, and corrosion. Protects metal parts to 1600 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 871 degrees Celsius. And I can't read Mexican. It's the silver stuff. So the applicator's right here, the brush. Really, man, that stuff's real thick, so. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that's on there. Pretty good. All the way around. Sit right there. Them spindles, you need to get it in between them spindles really, really good. Alright. And then, just because, I am going to take a towel and wipe off the ends here. Not that it may matter or not, but anyways. And you want to dispose of that somewhere where you ain't going to step on it, track it in the house. Cool. Now I'm going to hit the inside of the dip before I put it in there. Might as well, it ain't going to hurt. I'm going to try to blow out as much as I can. With the air hose. Cool beans. Now then, anything's left in there, taking just a blue and that's dry. All right, cool. Are you capturing that? There's a slant right here in front of the camera, so y'all gonna have to deal with it. That's how it's supposed to go. It takes a little bit, but once it gets wet and opens up, that's right, feels right as rain. Cool. Now I'm going to have to put that anti-seize on the end right before I buckle this up. So let me take a break. All right, I'm going to let this run for a while. So soak that in WD-40 or a PB Blaster. And if you've got a wire brush the size of a toothbrush to get in here to these spindles in here, in between all them grooves, do that, but I wouldn't really do it real hard. Probably a regular toothbrush, but let it soak in WD or PB Blaster. I just hit it with an air hose, and I got most of that gunk out. So, all right, cool. Set this aside. What did that do? All right. I was sitting here complaining about how cold it was, and man, now it's burning up. There's not really any breeze blowing. Okay, so this was seized up. The ball joints, at least the lower one was. And, all right, that slid back down. And, get away. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a washer on there. I lost the one. I don't know where it's at. Probably after I moved the vehicle. I ended up finding it. So I borrowed one from my boy that owns the bay here. It was a little washer, so just bill me. Need a rubber mallet. Let's see something here. Like that. What the hell, man? Maybe go top side. See it going down in there. I should have live streamed this. Let me pause it. Alright, I got that bottom ball joint in. It took an act of Congress. I was like, why is it not going in? I did this before when I put the A-arms on. There's a groove in the bolt in that ball joint, and for that screw to go through, to go through, there's a little cutout right there, and you got to line it up just right. And I'm like, why ain't it going in there? All right, let's see here what we need to do. Which helps. I should have bought another case of that. Well, that went in pretty easy. This was the same issue I was having. I'm gonna have to get down here and eye it. I think that needs to come down some. There we go. Look at that. That's what I had to do to the bottom one, but I didn't realize I had to line it up just right. They say on these nylon nuts, once you take them off, you need to go get some new ones. I've got blue Loctite and red Loctite. I use blue when I put these A-arms, these lower A-arms on. All right. Ooh, doggy. All right, what's next now? I believe that'll go in there. That's just supposed to slide right off. So just don't get none on your hands. I'm gonna do the inside. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'd rather have WD-40 on me instead of this stuff. That's on there pretty thick. I think I'm gonna have to jack this up some more. I hope I don't have to take everything off. No work room at all. that. Get her done. All right. Now I believe I'm going to take me a break. So, Polaris says if you're going to replace these caliper bolts, or if you take them out, you need to replace them with new ones. But we're going to cheat with some blue medium strength Loctite. What the heck, man? Brand new bottle. Give me a sec. Freaking red wasp, boy. It's a Tennessee state bird in the spring. What's going on here? Hold on. Alright, I figured it out. You gotta pull this. Hopefully that's what I'm supposed to be doing. All over my head. Alright, let's see something here. Set that right there. I'm hand tightening them right now. I'm going to do the same thing. That was the lower one. This is the top one. I don't know if you can see that on the end. Alright. And this is the upper one. Come in there. There we go. Which one was it? Yeah, there we go. A little bit of impacto. Little extension here. And I got sweat in my eye. Holy crap. Alright. That is on there pretty good. What's next? guess. Self-retracting ratchet. Hold your upper arm up. I guess we're gonna have to jack this up. Okay. Yes. I believe we're going to have to jack it up some more here. Something about like that, maybe. Not there. Oh. Ha ha! The gods must be crazy. You know what? Just because. Not there. Probably gonna need just a little bit more. This looks like a nylon nut too. Put the washer on first. That's on there. I don't know if anybody can see that. I'll go back and just record elbows, buttholes and elbows. And that's right. That's pretty good. That's even better. Now then, this thing came and it wants the bold side. It comes with a castle nut and these two washers, but if you look, they're concaved. They want the nipple part facing out, so I guess it'll go on like that. And where's that big bag? Yeah. And again, it comes with a cotter pin and a castle nut, but I'm going to use my older cotter pin here. How about that? And now then, I guess we need to put the tire on, huh? 3.5, 4 hours to do one of them. All right. It all looks right, but we really won't know until I get the tire on and see if this thing makes funny noises. All right, I got the wheel on there. We're gonna take it for a drive, and hopefully it won't make funny noises. So hold on, let me get in this thing. Golly, boy. Okay. Takes an act of Congress to get in here because it's so tall now. All right. We ain't gonna do nothing crazy. I'm just gonna go in reverse and forward and up the field a little bit. Nothing too crazy. So I'm in high full drive. Turning, that's a good sign. Brakes. Hear any funny noises. Brakes, all right, now reverse. Hold on a second. I've got to turn this heat lamp on the chicken house. It got cold the last couple of nights, and I turned the heat lamp on. Y'all about to get a treat. I don't know. You can go back and look and see how small these chicks were. And they're probably in here turned into chicken nuggets. Y'all tumped over everything. My gosh. Putting it on that brakes don't work. Golly, let me unplug this thing. Woo-wee. Look how big they are now. Y'all doing all right? Hold on, let me feed you. Y'all need to quit turning stuff over. We got plenty of water. They like chasing a broom too. I think those are roosters doing that. Man, it's burning up in here. We got the fan on. I just cleaned this morning. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. The chickens. I'm gonna let this open for a minute. It done warmed up today. It got down to 29 last night. I think it's supposed to get cold tonight, but it's a hot box in there right now. I left the door open for a little while, so just now. Does everything look like it's seated in there? Yeah. Compared to the other ones? Oh, yeah. They're about 2 or 4 millimeters thicker than stock. They say the rear are 20% stronger than the stock, and the front are like 11%. But the big deal is they're a lot bulkier right here. This is where normally everybody breaks, but I've seen people break all the way down, and you'll hear it or see it on a video, clunk, 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 when they break one. But this is where they really beefed up, Rhino did right here. So they're 2 pounds heavier, and that's because of the reinforcement, I guess, with the housing on the inside axle there. I don't see nothing wrong, and they look nice. They got blue stickers on them. I have to paint it red. No, I ain't doing nothing to them. Okay, back to the garage. Four-wheel drive low. That's 2-wheel drive, back-wheel drive, and then 4-wheel drive. You can see the little tires get darker. They're still on. Okay, probably what I'm gonna do the next time, I'll upload this video, but when I work on it and I know it's the electrical and the rest of these axles, I'm just gonna live stream. So be looking out, and I'll probably start live streaming around sometime between 11 and 1 o'clock. 11 o'clock in the morning, 11:30, 12. Just depends on how I'm feeling. I like my coffee and waking up out here, so it gets me motivated out here in the sticks. And I'll hook something up, and it'll be dark. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I'll hook up a floodlight and a plug-in so that my phone won't go dead. Me out here for 6 hours live streaming. Anyways, I hope you learned something, not what to do. I learned a whole lot. High-tech redneck out. High-tech redneck. What's that? Monster Buck's down there with all his ladies. Where's he at? There he is. Girly, girly. Black powder. 50 cal steel ball. Boom! Right above the shoulder blade. What you looking at, girlfriend? It's that time of the evening. I just seen the buck. I went and got my phone to record it, and he went up in the brush right there with the rest of his little harem. Y'all know what that is. Alright.